like today was like made me think like, okay, I think we're getting somewhere, you know? Like my energy levels are pretty good and there was some good movements throughout the day, some decisions I made that moved me more towards where I wanted to go long term, made some uncomfortable moves to talk to some new people, which was good. Met this dude at a gas station who wants to become a professional boxer, so that was cool. I got this at a church activity thing. It just says my name, so probably put that in my journal or something. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good day though. Not too much really happened. It was just kind of another day. Woke up and went on a good walk after working a little bit. Met some new people and some people that I like bounced off of their energy, which was cool. And it was a good time. I feel like I'm way too judgmental sometimes early, like with meeting people. Sometimes I'll just like be so quick to be like, okay, this person's gonna fit into my life, or this is how this friendship's gonna look, or whatever. When the truth is, I really don't know. And I think that's something that I let me back is I let how I judge the person in that moment and the story I tell myself about that person to affect that. But I'm getting better at just kind of letting these things come through over time and not worry about like how they look in the moment. Just kind of enjoy the moment, you know? Because things can change really quickly. Things can happen really quick. Met this person today that has done some startups. They've some other stuff. They seem like a good person for me to keep in contact with. So that's cool. And yeah, I just got some other thoughts, listened to some podcasts, I got my mind rolling. So it just kind of makes me feel, I'm in a pretty good spot right now, but how do I elevate and scale this up with the talents and the gifts that I've been given? They have been having more people remark on my writing and the quality of it and how it helps them. So how do I scale that up? How do I move that up? But overall, I mean, it's a pretty solid day. I think one of the main takeaways was from the podcast I listened to, and it was talking about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, how he just is became known for taking like crazy amounts of risk, and how he was certain that he was right about there being oil in this one spot, and so he like drilled in that spot, ended up finding oil, and paid I think $2 million from one oil uh, drill, and it was pretty amazing. You just kind of strike gold, strike oil a couple times, and then you just kind of stay with that. You try that, you go where that's going. This channel was very self-development based at first. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become this big self-development. It was like a really solid day in terms of just feeling pretty good about how it went. I feel like we've moved along and just starting to stack up the bricks, stack up the days, make some bigger moves, make some bigger risks, and and that's good. When you move to someplace different, you have to change up how you do some of your basic things. Back at home in North Carolina, I had a car, and so would be able to drive around and could talk to people at the store or at the lake or at the gas station, and there's a lot more movement generally going on here in Utah right now. I don't have a car. I'm saving up for a car, but I don't have a car right now. And so I'm walking around and I'm also getting rides from people. So right now, like a big part of my day to day is going on walks and walking to different places. And that's something you have to be okay with. You have to be okay with what is necessary in that season. Like what like you can't get out, so you just kind of have to own it. Like the shower, I'm taking a shower. I took a shower in today. Like it's not draining. So it's like freezing cold, like all the way up to like the middle of the shower. And it's like for now we can't get out of this. It's like it's you just kind of pay the price. It's early. It's still very early in my life. Welcome. Not yeah, Omaha. Yeah, thank you. Welcome. It's just like you don't know where this is going to go. So you just kind of trust it. When you're in the unknown, you just kind of have to trust it. And I feel like I've had times in my life where I was way better at that. Like when I was serving my 2-year mission, I was really good at just like diving deep into the unknown. When I moved out to Utah, I think I wanted things to be more put together. And so I was like, okay, just work out this way, but it really hasn't been that way. It's like running with the unknowns, showing up, and as I do well in one area of my life, then new things can come into the picture. But until I figure out that lesson, until I learn that thing, I am not going to move at all. We're just going to keep going in circles. You know, it's like Moses with the children of Israel, dude. They're like walking in circles for like 40 years. So when you're willing to get led somewhere else, like that's what's going to happen. But a lot of it for me, it's like letting go of limited beliefs, healing, changing, growing, and whatnot. So I was kind of thinking about, okay, how do I, if I did a paid version of my newsletter, what would that look like? And so I might try that out because I have 700 free subscribers. But are there any that it would make a difference? It'd be helpful for them. I don't know. Is there work? Is there something being left on the table here? And I think that there is. One subscriber. I have one subscriber that like has told me times that they like it, and I think they'd be up for paying for a paid version of it. So I don't know. I was thinking about it too. It's like, do I really want as far as like long-term perspective? And when it comes to like when I have a kid and stuff like that, when I have a family, what feel like I have to have me to be jumping on a live stream every night. No, I don't want to do that. I don't. I want to have some sense of freedom, have things, some things more clearly laid out. I think going forward, something that will help me to do better at making the most of this time and season. So I want to write out, I'm probably going to narrow it down to 5, narrow it down to like 5 rules that I want to follow that will help me to like stay on track with getting things done each day, and just kind of repeat those to myself throughout the day and just fall in line with that. I think that would be really helpful for me. So it's gonna take time. I mean, I've been living in Utah for almost 5 months now, so it's added up to like today is like the first day, at least with living in Provo. I mean, it really was like, felt like I just sort of went through, met some people, had a good time, got the work done, and it was good. I mean, I've had other days that were like that, but I also feel just good about how things worked out. It's kind of hard to explain. I feel like good within myself too. So you just kind of have to keep going, especially when you're in a new season, to help you to figure out like what's going to happen. I read also in Ephesians 4:24 about putting on the new, like putting on Christ, putting on the new money, putting on the new abilities, putting on the new story, putting on new skills. So it's really interesting. Like back in when I was in high school, I played video games and I did a gaming YouTube channel and I did some writing for that, but not very much. Whereas now with my life, you could break it down percentage wise. Something I want to do more of is writing, and if I was making more money with it, then it'd probably be easier to do. But yeah, that's kind of that. And it really does come back to that thought about how simplicity is king. Simplicity really does come out on top. I made some goals. I talked to some people. I went to this church activity. I went on a walk to the church activity and back. So I got my 10,000 steps in and a little over that, and then listened to some podcasts and said hi to some people, and it was good. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. But I do feel like today was a little bit of a kind of a good time to think and be like, okay, like this was good, but if I want to be at a certain level down the road, there's just a price that's going to have to be paid that I haven't paid yet. So what does that look like? Yeah. I also finished reading from Ranger's Apprentice book 7. It's my second time reading that book. It's called Eric's Ransom. I'm not going to spoil it for you. The Ranger's Apprentice series is one of my favorites. It talks about this guy named Will and how he got trained up to be a Ranger's Apprentice. And he had some skills and some basic instincts that Holt, who is this trainer, saw in him and then wanted to nurture those. So it makes you think about skills that maybe God has given me that he wants to work on, he wants to refine, and he wants me to notice and recognize, dive deep into. So it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. And it also brings to mind the need to be super intentional with the limited time that I've been given. So yeah, that's kind of that. It's good though. It's good. Makes you think about the need to just align yourself with what you'd like to be doing in the future. I made a little podcast from this podcast I did for a little bit called Stay on the Path. And I talked about this one episode about magnetizing yourself to your future self by, taking these certain actions. So, yeah, I mean, I just see it over and over again. Trust your instincts. You go after those opportunities that will help your thinking and your mindset to grow. And then you'll just continue those kind of opportunities. And I know that I'm supposed to be here in Utah. I had a number of different experiences that made it clear that was the play. So now it's just about being patient with myself as beautiful stuff comes together. That's really it. Like continuing to move forward while things slowly come together and not worry about the temporary lack that I see in myself or in the results I'm getting. There's a quote from what's his last name? So his last name's Stevenson. Can't remember his first name. The guy who wrote Island, he talked about don't measure the day, but the harvest you reap by the seeds you plant. So, I mean, if you're planting good stuff throughout the day, then you're gonna that's gonna add up really quickly. That's where life gets really exciting. If there's something that you do and you do it every single day, that can become, it can be a really powerful force for you in the future. I mean, I did tons of speaking with doing the gaming YouTube channel, and that I need to get more comfortable speaking. And then I've done a lot of other videos, which has helped me get comfortable speaking behind a camera. So it takes time, it takes effort, and yeah. I've also noticed enough times too that usually when you get the hang of something, that's when things really change up. So I'm excited for things to change up because I know they're gonna change up pretty soon. So we'll see how that kind of goes on. We just have to kind of keep going and not worry about how we look at it, how I see it right now. It says it in 1 Corinthians 13:12. For now we see through glass darkly, but then face to face. So right now it's we're just seeing work in progress. I also am seeing how vital it is to get enough sleep so my energy levels are at a good place. So that's kind of that too. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. It's pretty chill. It's good. But yeah, because my birthday is in 4 months, a little bit on, actually almost less than 3 months, which is crazy. So I want to get some good progress made between now and then. What does that look like? I think it looks like just investing a lot more in my own stuff, maybe trying to come out with a paid version of my newsletter, maybe. And also spending a lot of time in those activities that have higher leverage. Right now, working on the startup has a lot of leverage because that can lead to a lot of opportunities for myself down the road. So spending more time on that. So that's needed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it comes down to adapting your course as you figure out stuff as you go along, because your map is going to get better. So you don't want to work with a not great map. Like, the map is going to get better, so you don't need to use the map from a couple years ago. That's a hard thing. That's the thing, because sometimes I want to use some map from a couple years ago that I know doesn't really work, but I want to use it anyway. And I don't want to use a super high-tech updated map because I know it's going to be to a way better place. I know it's going to bring my life to a lot of abundance, and all I have to do is follow it. So that's really it. You continue forward, and you rejoice in that you've received, and you continue to go to the places that are on the, that are meant for you, that are on the map, and it gets better. It's better over time. So it's exciting. It's exciting how I don't really know who I'm going to meet tomorrow, and I just have to be willing to be right here, right now, and can plan things. So tomorrow, not sure if I'll do a live stream tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm really planning on doing a lot of cold calling, because I would like to set up some demos for my friend to do the startup, do a demo with a potential client. So doing that, and also get writing done and some other things of that nature done. And it's become so easy. Like, when you wake up in the morning, it's so easy to be like, you know what, I don't want to do that, I don't have to do that, and you just settle. And yeah, at the end of the day, you are choosing what you want your life to look like. And it's tough for me with my ADHD, because sometimes I underestimate the value of the present moment, and I forget that this moment is going to influence how well these next moments. So, my friend said I could work as much as I wanted for the startup, and I have not really taken him up on that offer, and so it's left a lot of money on the table with these first couple months working for him. And so now I'm trying to work more so I can make more money and not be like less interested in working, and just like trust it and just go after it and be like, I'm gonna get better at this. I'm gonna put time into this, and trusting in the long game of this. There's this story from The Magic of Thinking Big that's really good. And I have the book right here. I'm not sure if, I'll just give it a try. Just flip up to a random page, see if you find the story. No. We gave it a try, though. There's a story about this guy who refuses to let his current situation change how he sees himself. If I can find it, I will share it. It's a good one, though. It's a very good story, because it really is about how it's not so much your current situation, it's how what you're willing to do right now that you're here. And things can actually change really quickly in a very good way. I probably just need to read this book again. That's probably what needs to happen. All right, just give me a couple more seconds, see if I can find it. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm gonna find it. But yeah, it's cool, because basically the story is that there's this dude, and he really wants to get ahead in life, and he's talking with this professor, and he just tells him like, hey, I don't have a lot of money, and struggling in this way and this way and this way, but I'm determined not to let what I don't have in my life hold me back. And so the professor asked for some clarification. He's like, yeah, he's like, if I look at what I'm doing right now, like, living in this small apartment, a hamburger diet, and blah blah blah, if I was looking at that in different life based on those things, then I might be very well stuck in those things and feel stuck. But I want to live in a house. I want to be able to, you know, buy nicer stuff. I don't want to have a hamburger diet. And I slowly work towards living that life, then you're able to make more of those choices. And this is growth and show. And it takes time and it's uncomfortable. But what it comes down to is making a new normal based on being in a new environment. So my living here, Utah, my day-to-day new normal is a higher level overall than what I was in North Carolina, and I have to be okay with that, and I need to also keep raising it up. So yeah, yeah, we're just getting the hang of things. We're just rolling with it and enjoying now. So yeah, but I thought that was a good story. Don't worry about how you in the present moment. Have some kind of vision that you're going after and keep working towards that, and don't let anything deter you from that. See what you can accomplish, see what you can figure out. You may not accomplish everything that you wanted to with that thing, but you can make a lot of progress in a very short period of time. So continue to take those risks, continue to do those things that are gonna move you forward on that path where you want to be. So like you might have this different skill, so you could take that skill in a number of different areas. And once you are willing to do that, just kind of getting used to it, enjoying that path, cherishing it, and seeing where it takes you. So that's kind of that. Just kind of have to keep the ball rolling. That's it. Like keeping the energy up, keeping the momentum rolling. And yeah, because I've had times where I slept in that day and didn't get as much work done. And then it's just like this cycle, this self perpetuating cycle. So like today's been pretty good overall. So it's like, okay, I just need to go to bed, get some things done, and then we'll just kind of begin again. We'll start anew. We'll follow this new trend. We'll start a new pattern. That's probably one of the most encouraging things that we can do. We can start a new pattern. We can start a new beginning. There's a quote from Eddie Pinero, and he just says, "You're always one decision away from having a completely different life." And it's true. You know, it's obviously uncomfortable, but you can always make a decision that will take you to a far better place than you are right now. But that's the thing, though. You have to be willing to trust it and trust the timeline, and move along with it, because the time may go by either way. So yeah, that's kind of that. It's been a good day though. Been a good day. Been a good day. Pretty chill, but a good day. So going to get some sleep. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.